Hi everyone. For this video, we're gonna actually look at some very challenging tactical positions. So this is not the videos that I've went covered involving secrets to calculation. This is a little bit more advanced. It is somewhat in the realms of learning how to calculate accurately and trying to apply logic and reasoning to assess and evaluate the position and try and make the proper decisions to the best of your ability. So in this situation, black to move, we have a very massive position here. Now again, when you actually look at the position, you have to look at from first you gotta look at your opponent's side of the position. So you look at this pawn's on f6, so this pawn is isolated by itself, but it's not really much of a threat. You look at what white has also the bishop on a7. Look at the rook on a4, which is attacking the queen, so that we have to be aware about. We gotta be aware about the rook on the c file along with the queen, and it could create some pressure and threats on the king possibly. So our king on b7 doesn't look safe, but it's actually in this situation it's actually a block to move. Okay, so timing is of the essence in terms of the chess. It matters a lot. One small mishap could cost you the whole game, and this is extremely critical. This is what chess players would call critical positions. Look at, so this king on g1, it has pawns that are somewhat structurally weakened. So there is a possibility where black can launch an attack on this king, perhaps thanks to that rook on the h file. So that's a big key factor towards the attack on the king, possibly. Also the knight on e5, which is extremely powerful. The rook on the d file, which could cause a lot of threats as well, and also the queen. So this is the evaluation, determining and trying to evaluate the pluses and minuses of your position compared to your opponents. And now we have to figure out what is black's best move. So that's going to be tough, but there is a way to work through it. You just have to analyze and calculate what chess players refer to as force moves. You gotta focus on force moves, and a force move consists of checks, captures, and threats. So in this very complicated position, the rook in particular, so in this particular situation, white's rooks, it's probably safer if they don't even if that rook is on the first rank. That's usually a much better situation if the one of white's rooks never leave the first rank. But in this situation, there is a flaw. As if you're anticipating it, there's definitely a huge flaw involving the back rank weakness. And in this situation, black can actually exploit this by playing this very shocker of a move knight to f3 exclam. So this basically forces rook takes f3. So if king goes to g2, game pretty much is over due to knight to e1 with a nice fork on the king and queen. So now if king goes to f1, let's say for example this one here, well, this is getting very interesting now, because there are some tricks involved in this position, due to the fact of queen to b5 here, check, and that can be a big issue. So let's say for example, if queen goes to e2, looks like everything's well protected, right? But then black has this nice little sneaky move, rook to d1 exclam, taking advantage of that pin the queen. And after king goes to this move, g2, we can actually capture the queen. And the game is pretty much essentially over. Because even after rook takes f3, black has rook takes h2 exclam. And after takes now, black's threatening mate in one. And white can't escape from this threat of mate. He can try and prolong it, but I mean it's useless really. He can play like rook b4, but simply just take it, so won't matter much. So so another possibility, if this rook on a4 goes to c4, well, the problem with this situation, okay, is there's this possibility of playing knight to d2, and you have a fork, and black's gonna win that rook, and he's gonna cause mayhem and problems for white. So same thing. If rook goes to here, rook c to c4, we have this move here, and then it's crushing. There's other ways to play for a win. It's possible that, well, actually, this is probably the most accurate way to play for the win. It is. Okay, so in this situation, knight to f3 exclam, and white has to take. You know, this is the only move. Rook takes f3 is the only option. Now, next move is black now can continue on with more threats, right? Create forcing moves, checks, captures, and threats, and you can play now queen to e1 check, and that pretty much forces king to g2, the only move. And now black has another amazing move, this nice tactic, and again another sacrifice. First knight, now the rook takes h2 exclam, and another forcing move, forcing the king to capture the rook. But that follows up with now another forcing move, rook h5 exclam, and the game is pretty much over. You know, there's really no other defense to it. So white can play rook h4, but that's not good enough. Rook takes h4, check, and that's because of that pin. You see the bishop on d6. It's applying pressure on that diagonal from b8 to h2, and that pawn can't capture that rook, and that pretty much forces the king to go to g2. But then game ends with one move, queen h1 checkmate, and black wins the game. So there you have it. So this is one of the more advanced tactical positions that I've gone over in this video. I'm gonna probably have more of those advanced tactical positions for more advanced players. Alright, well, yeah, you guys can like, comment, and subscribe to Chessview. We'll see you guys next time. Okay, you guys take it easy for today.